Yet another key feature of national income is net aggregate value, or I would say net value of goods or services produced in the economy. Well, while calculating the final value of national income, we only consider the net value or net aggregate values of all the goods and services produced in the economy. We do not consider the depreciation associated with it. What is depreciation? Basically, wear and tear of capital assets. So, how do you get net value of goods or commodity or services produced in the economy? Well, the final value minus depreciation will be the net value or net aggregate value of the commodity. I'll explain this in further detail. Let's say for a specific commodity, when it reaches to the final finished goods or final finished stage, then its cost consider a lot of things. The finished stage consider the cost of raw material, it considers the cost of wages, it considers the cost of interest, it considers the cost of profit, and it also considers cost of depreciation, that is capital asset usage or wear and tear cost. And then you arrive at the final price. Now understand what is depreciation. Is basically depreciation is the cost to compensate the usage of capital asset in the making of finished good. Basically, this cost component depreciation is used to handle the wear and tear of capital asset, because any capital assets like machinery has a limited life. So it gets on deteriorating over the period of time. So in order to compensate that deterioration, we considered depreciation. So understand, depreciation is not an income generation. It is not an income from the product. It's just the cost. Since it's a cost, so at the time of calculation of national income, it is not a part of income. So in order to add the value of goods or services, we don't add the final value, we add net aggregate value of all parameters except depreciation. I'll explain this with an example. Let's say I make a shirt. Final pricing of shirt has lot of intermediate components in it. It will have raw material price, let's say 100 rupees. It will have wages for laborers, let's say 20 rupees. It will pay rent for its land, let's say 10 rupees. It is using machineries and investment. So for capital, let's say it is 30 rupees. The manufacturer look forward, or the producer will look forward to its profit, let's say 40 rupees. And the depreciation, that capital asset usage or to compensate for wear and tear of capital asset, the depreciation amount of 10 rupees. So the final amount for the shirt turns out to be 210 rupees. But at the time of calculation of national income, we will not consider the depreciation value. We will only consider the aggregate values of all other parameters except depreciation. So at the time of calculation of national income, we will not consider the price of the goods or services as 210, we'll consider 200. So in nutshell summary, while calculation of national income, we only consider the net value, or I would say net aggregate value of finished goods or services produced in the economy. We do not consider depreciation, that is wear and tear of capital asset. So from final value, we deduct depreciation to arrive at national income.